We are 1 week away from the NFL draft, and we're going to be going through the first round and making our first mock draft here at Good Sports. And so we'll be talking a lot about that, and we've got other things to talk about as well. We are excited, and it is almost time. We will talk about football and maybe a little bit of extra sports. That and more next on Good Sports. Thanks for joining us. I'm Randy Goode, and as always, we are very much excited and ready for this part of the year. This is one of my favorite parts of the year. But before we get started, I am joined alongside Trent Sneed. We've got Cameron here behind the scenes. Cameron, how you doing?
Good.
Wanted to make sure that you were mentioned there so we had proof of you right now on the camera. And then we also have Drew behind the scenes. But as always, hit that subscribe button. It means a lot to us. This is our first mock draft that we've ever done. We will try to go through this pretty quick because I've watched a lot of drafts and some of them go on and on and on. So we'll do our best. We'll get most of the teams in here. Maybe we'll cover some other sports here depending on how things go. But we're going to get things started right off the bat. I'm going to go personally through the first 11 picks. And then we'll go from there, and we'll do a few other picks coming up. But like I said, hit that subscribe button, hit that bell. You'll get everything we have. We will also do a live special on the draft day, which is always exciting. We'll have a whole bunch of different people coming in. We'll interview them as the picks come in, seeing reactions, seeing predictions, and then seeing reactions. So that's great. And I don't know, Trent, where are you at with the draft? I think this, to me, is out of the whole year of all the sports, this is the most exciting time for me.
If draft day could be every day,
yes,
I would love that.
I make a pattern. I watch the draft movie the night before every night.
It's not a very accurate movie,
Oh,
but man, it is a good movie.
I love that movie. It's one of my favorites.
Like no one would ever make that deal that they make in that movie.
It was a little Hollywood.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, although you could see the Browns making some of the first parts of those trades.
The Browns would definitely make the world's dumbest trade, for sure.
They would. Anyway, but we're excited about it. But we're going to get started. I'm going to go through some of these picks, and then we're going to come to our team's picks. So when we get to the 49ers, my team, I'm going to say who I think maybe they'll pick, and I'll mention a few people who would be their dream picks in order if they were available. When we get to the Eagles, you'll do the same thing.
Sure.
And then Cameron with the Chiefs will do the same thing, and then we'll kind of go through them one at a time. We don't know how this is going to go. Things shake up so much. You got Shadir Sanders, for example. He could go as high as 2, and he could fall in the 20s. You just never know, and that can change things. Teams trade, but we're not taking trades into consideration.
Actually, I did see a prediction the other day.
Yeah, what's that?
And actually, I want to put out there as a prediction.
Yeah.
It's a guarantee.
Oh,
Absolute guarantee.
all predictions come true.
No. Listen, I'm telling you, this one prediction.
Oh, I've seen some.
I would go to Vegas, put the house, my wife's car, my truck, everything I own on this one prediction. You ready for it?
I think this is not going to happen, but go ahead.
The Philadelphia Eagles will make a trade
Okay.
during the draft.
Oh, gosh. Every team makes a trade during the draft.
No, not every team.
Other breaking news. Water wet.
I bet every team.
But we set a record last year for most trades
Okay.
ever in a draft.
Okay.
And I don't think Howie Roseman's ever had a draft without making a trade.
Yes, I think he'll make a trade.
So I
would
did
agree
see
with
that prediction, and let me tell you, I'd be willing to put everything on it. I don't think the odds or returns in Vegas are probably that good for that one, but I'd be willing to do it.
Well, this is a weird year because you don't know how high. Last year you had receivers going early and often.
Quarterbacks.
And quarterback. And then and this year receivers are a little bit lower and the quarterbacks aren't.
All the defensive players fell last year,
Yeah.
which helped, obviously, some people and wasn't great for others.
It was good for you.
Yeah.
Good for the Eagles. So I'm going to start off. No surprise here. I think everybody knows Tennessee is on the clock first. They're going to take Cam Ward.
You know what's funny?
What's that?
Okay, no, just go.
No, that's okay.
fine.
No, we can talk about it.
It's fine. I just
Yeah, but he's going to go number 1.
I don't like him.
Yeah. You
I
don't,
don't like
think
him.
he's going to work out?
No, I think he's actually a worse version of Anthony Richardson. And Anthony Richardson was terrible.
Yeah.
Like when the Colts picked Anthony Richardson, the only reason you thought, he's got a chance, because he was a Cam Newton body type, and you're like, well, he might freak in nature some plays out, right?
Yeah.
I just don't see anything special with Cam Ward.
Yeah.
I mean, he might have more of the
quarterbacks
intangibles.
they're not top heavy like they've been in the past. Next year it's supposed to be a great quarterback class. This year it's
Yeah.
And
I just think he comes from like, he's not even like he didn't even play the SEC, you know, like,
yeah.
well, no, that's Miami. Yeah. He
Yeah.
didn't play
Yeah, he started at Washington State too.
Well,
They have a good
Well, so he's
Gardner
already-
Minshew started at
Yeah.
Washington State,
Yeah,
pal.
that doesn't help his case.
Gardner
magic,
Minshew
baby.
started at Washington
Minshew
State, pal.
magic.
Listen, they let anyone start there.
Yeah, that does not help.
Ryan
his case.
Leaf,
I'm
baby.
26
Ryan
years old.
Leaf.
I'll walk on to Washington State University right now.
And throw for 3,000 yards because they throw the ball every time.
No, man, I don't see anything special with them.
Yeah.
I actually listen. As much as like I don't want to get on the Sanders bandwagon, I actually think Sanders has a much higher ceiling
Really?
than Ward.
Oh, I don't.
And I said ceiling. I didn't say floor.
Okay.
I said ceiling. I think Sanders
Yeah.
has a much higher ceiling. And if I'm gonna take a quarterback, I'm taking the ceiling 10 out of 10 times.
I don't think Sanders is going to make it very far. I don't think he's going to have a great
Well,
career.
I don't think either of them will make it that far.
That could
but
be-
I'm
that
just
could
saying
be.
I would bet on Sanders'
Okay.
ceiling versus Ward.
Fair enough.
Sorry,
Fair enough.
I'm done arguing.
Okay, no, that's okay. So Cam Ward, I think, though, everybody knows that's kind of a lock. They've basically said that's going to happen. So number 2 is where the draft kind of starts.
Okay.
And that will drastically change a whole bunch of things. I think the Browns right now they already have a great edge rusher. Now they could do Abdul Carter, and that would be 2 guys off the edge, which would be insane. But I think they're going to go Travis Hunter. I think they've got a lot of holes to fill. They think he can maybe play multiple positions. And I think he will play multiple positions. There's question how good he'll be at both those positions. But he is going to at least put seats. You know, there's going to be a lot of people buying jerseys of his.
Oh,
He
yeah.
has absolutely got a
A lot
great
of
name.
12-year-olds.
And so,
Yeah, a lot of
So,
Fortnite players.
I feel
Definitely.
bad for whoever goes to the Browns. As soon as you go to the Browns, you're like, oh man, well at least you had one good contract. You know, it's the
At least
second
they'll
one.
pay you a lot of money.
Yeah, they'll
You'll
pay-
lose every game, but they'll pay you a lot of money.
I do feel like if you're the Browns, though, the concept of having Abdul Carter
Wouldn't that be a nice edge
and,
rushing?
and Miles Garrett on both sides,
Yes.
I mean
They
that is
also have-
crazy.
That's what the Giants want that to happen too. I think the Giants want Travis Hunter to fall to him because they already have they have good edge rushers.
Oh yeah,
So, but
and then you could use corner help. They do struggle.
yeah,
with the corner
I mean it
spot.
would be perfect for the Giants.
I think no
if
matter
Hunter
what,
went
he's
there.
going to be a full-time cornerback
Yep.
with wide receiver specialty plays. They'll
Yep.
go. They'll
10
send him
plays
in,
a game
Send
or
him in for a
something.
package.
Yep, couple packages a
Yep.
game. Yep. So I got the Giants going with Abdul Carter, even though they already have the good edge rushers. I could see Thibodeau. I could see them trading them or doing something to help fill some other needs. But I think they're going to take best player available. Both of these teams could take quarterbacks. I don't think it doesn't sound unless they're putting
Between
on a smoke
Jameis
screen.
Winston and Russell Wilson, I don't know why they take a quarterback.
Yeah.
It makes no sense to spend that much money on veteran quarterbacks.
No, it doesn't.
If they had one veteran quarterback, then it's like, okay, they're
Yeah,
going to
I
take
agree.
a flyer.
I think as soon as they got Russell, I think that put a
Don't
fork
get me
in it.
wrong. They're probably going to take a flyer on some quarterback.
They'll take somebody, but maybe in the 4th round or
yeah,
something.
4th or 5th
Yeah.
round.
So the Patriots.
I just
think-
want to put out there, too.
Yeah.
I got to stop seeing Penn State players, Penn State natives.
Yeah.
Okay.
You mean in your your
in
division?
our division. It's just not
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah,
it's
you
just
got-
not cool.
Yeah, Jalen Hurts is got people
Between
coming
Micah
after him.
Parsons and Abdul Carter,
Yeah.
getting to play those players twice a year is just
Yeah.
not cool. I just would rather not have to, you know?
Yeah, no, I hear you.
It's super unfortunate.
I hear ya.
And New York's defensive line's already stacked.
Yeah,
I mean, sexy
is-
Dexy.
That's their
That
strength.
guy's a unit.
Then but I would take best player available.
Well, yeah. I mean, if you're the Giants, what are you
They're
going to do?
gonna hope Hunter falls to him, and Hunter could fall to him.
You just basically said 1, 2, and 3, and then the next person is Mason Graham, maybe from Michigan, and you're like, well, the Giants aren't going to take a defensive tackle over
Nope.
the edge.
Nope. I agree. So I got number 4 Patriots. I got Will Campbell.
Great
She's got shorter arms. That's what they're concerned about. But he was in the SEC 3 years in a row, and he dominated everybody he played against. So he doesn't have the arms, but I look at production more than arm length, and so that can make somewhat of a difference. But I think Will Campbell has dominated for three 3 years there.
And
so,
Mike Vrabel is not making that mistake.
No.
No.
So
I think he's a smart coach. I think Vrabel is a great coach.
And you're
I think he's
protecting
gonna
your
fit well
quarterback.
there.
Yep.
It just makes a lot of sense.
Yeah. So number 5, Mason Graham, defensive tackle, Jaguars. Almost every draft I've seen the Jaguars taking Mason Graham.
This pick makes way too much sense.
Yeah.
Now, would it make sense for the Jaguars to do an absolute idiot move and blow this pick? Absolutely. It's the Jaguars, right?
They could.
They're here for a reason.
But they need somebody to clog the middle.
Yeah. I mean, defensive tackle is their number one need. So if they don't take the best defensive tackle in this class, then that would be crazy. But, I've seen crazier.
So now we're at the Raiders. And before I pick the Raiders,
I love this pick.
We just went to Vegas.
I love this pick.
And I'm going to say, and you'll back me up on this, we just drove by the coolest stadium I've ever seen.
Oh, it's so Raiders.
It is we went by it like 10 times, and every time I was in awe of this stadium. And I'm not in awe of stadiums. That was awesome.
Yeah.
Anytime, everybody should go there. It's unbelievable. It totally fits the Raiders stadium. So the number 6 pick, I have Genty going to the Raiders.
This makes too much sense. Makes too much sense. He fits that vibe. You got Geno. Who had his resurrection with a strong run game. He needs a strong run game. They have no one in that backfield you're going to trust.
Right.
They need Genty. This makes way too much sense.
Yep.
This is one of those things where, like,
Pete Carroll.
Some of these picks that we have going right now, I just don't see them going a different direction.
No.
If they do, I understand. It's the draft. Things are going to change. But it just makes way too much sense.
So far, now it starts to get a little hairy. Here on the Jets could go a bunch of different ways.
The only thing I will say, though, about the Raiders pick, if they went Shadur, I wouldn't be mind blown. Only because I feel like his best comp is Geno Smith.
Yeah.
I feel like those two players, both like not crazy athletic,
right?
For the most part, in the pocket players,
yeah.
Right? I just feel like they're so similar in so many ways.
Could.
And I just feel like if you're the Raiders and you're like, what's the future of our team? Why not draft a guy that's the younger version of who you got?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Anyways.
No, the Raiders, Pete Carroll he's always enjoyed running backs and defensive backs.
Yeah.
And you got the best running back right here. And we've all talked about him. Cameron, you've talked about we've all loved Genty from the beginning, right? I mean, that guy's a beast. So we got him. So this is the one that is really up in the air that I see all over the board. I have seen with the 7th pick. Who do you have? I mean, so far you have everybody going the same way I do right now?
I don't think I have any differences at this point.
Yeah. Okay.
Cam?
No.
Feel pretty good.
Like I said, these first couple picks are like, they just make a lot of sense.
Yeah, they're just gonna flow together.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So we're at the Jets right now, and the Jets. I was looking at some things here. I was going to look, and they talked about some of the needs here. Quarterback. You could do a Shadur Sanders. They got defensive line. They got defensive back. I put Will Johnson in, and that might be a little early for him. I've seen him as high as earlier on. He was up in about the 5th. He's 6'2", Michigan. He was Player of the Year in the championship game. He's if he's healthy, he's really good. Health is going to be his question. But I have Will Johnson going to the Jets right here. What are your thoughts?
I don't know. I think this is the first place we see Shadur really get taken seriously.
Oh, yeah.
I just think the Jets aren't going to make that great of a pick.
They could.
I mean,
right.
Who are they going to play at quarterback at this point?
Yep.
And it's New York.
Yeah.
They got to have a star.
Yeah.
They got to have a star. And they're Woody Johnson, that whole owner group, nothing's changed since the Aaron Rodgers part, right? Nothing's changed. Yeah. They might have a new head coach. Nothing's changed. It's still ran by the same idiots as it was ran before.
That's why I'm wondering if they're like thinking we got to build around it and get lucky with the quarterback because we keep picking the wrong guy.
Well, yeah.
And they have consistently picked the wrong guy.
They, in fact, have picked the wrong guy.
Can you imagine a Deion Sanders family member in New York? That would be interesting. Yeah. So
I don't see them going Will Johnson. I think they did lose their second cornerback in free agency this year. But man, it's still such a strength for them. Their defense is so good still.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I like the Jets defense. They just need to get it together on offense.
Yeah.
I could see them going.
Do you think
if they don't go quarterback,
tight end?
I could see them going either tight end or wide receiver.
That's Tyler Warren is awesome.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of McMillan. There's a lot of people that have a lot of different thoughts on McMillan.
Yeah. And they could also still go offensive tackle. So.
Yeah. So they could go in a lot of ways, and so we'll have to see what they end up doing.
Amond Membo, he's right there.
Membo absolutely could go there. I first had him in there.
So who do you have going there? Because I'm going to fill it in. I'm filling in the mock draft right now.
Right now?
Did we go? Where are we going with that? You said Will Johnson.
I said Will Johnson. I'm a little biased with that pick, but I'm not really loving that pick.
I don't agree, but I'm going to click it.
Okay. All right. That's fair enough. I think I'm gonna be honest with you, and I'll explain.
I think the problem is I think the Panthers are definitely going Will Johnson.
Do you think so?
Yeah.
I don't think the Panthers. This is so Panthers are next.
Okay.
Panthers.
You're
my
gonna say
favorite guy.
Out of pocket.
No, Jalen Walker. I love this player, and I think
that makes a lot of sense.
I think the Panthers are going to take him, and I think he is going to be one of the best players, possibly defensive player, rookie of the year.
So if you're on draft night and you're a 49ers
I want Jalen
fan
Walker.
or a Cowboys fan, your biggest prayer that you can have is that the Jets don't take Will Johnson, because I think the Panthers are going to take Will Johnson for sure if he's available.
And
there.
the Bears won't take him.
No.
Yeah.
Anyways, so I'm going to fill that in. Sad to see. I actually am a huge fan of Jalen Walker. I've watched the tape. I think the funny thing is we have a dual Carter who is from Penn State. We've made a lot of significant ties to Micah Parsons, a former Penn State player.
Yeah,
I think Jalen Walker's way closer to Micah Parsons than Abdul Carter is.
Yeah,
and I know that some people are going to be like,
size and stuff.
That doesn't make any sense. Okay, go and watch the tape.
Well,
Jalen Walker, they quite literally put him in every position on the field last year for Georgia.
Yes.
And you know who did that as well? Micah Parsons.
I know.
And people want to say Abdul Carter and Micah Parsons are similar players. Abdul Carter's just been an edge rusher from the start.
Yeah.
He's an edge rusher. Now, you could say he's an outside linebacker, defensive end, hybrid edge rusher, right? And that maybe you could classify that as two different positions.
Right.
Jalen Walker, like Micah Parsons, they put him at nose tackle sometimes. I mean, they put him all over the field.
I think Jalen Walker is he might be my favorite player in this draft.
Yeah.
I really like him. So, Saints, I've heard this mocked a few times, and I'm wondering, first of all, is Pittsburgh, if there's a team moving up, would Pittsburgh move up at some point to get a quarterback? Do you think they will actually do it?
I don't know. The Aaron Rodgers, is he going to sign before
I don't
the
think
draft?
he's going to sign with
before the
Pittsburgh.
draft.
I don't know.
He really doesn't want to play there.
No, he doesn't.
You got to really not want to play somewhere if it's basically your only choice and you're still not signing. Now, to be fair to him, if the Vikings don't get a quarterback in the draft,
yes,
and you're basically saying, J.J. McCarthy, here's the keys to the hot rod, coming off 2 major surgeries, and he's lost like 50 pounds.
Yeah.
I could see the Vikings saying, all right, we'll give in. We'll give you the keys to the car for 1 year, Aaron. But I just don't know. They seem to love J.J. out there.
Yeah.
It doesn't make any sense to me. I didn't think he was that special coming out of Michigan.
Yeah.
And honestly, after the 2 surgeries and him losing all that weight, I'm scared for the guy.
Yeah.
Imagine having 2 major surgeries.
I know.
And then losing all your muscle mass.
Oh, my
That's
gosh.
scary.
Oh, my gosh. Well, okay, so...
Okay, back to the point. We're at the Saints. We're the Saints team.
We're at the Saints, but here's the thing. I'm going to go back on something. You talked me out of it, and I feel better about this.
Okay.
I'm sorry, but I'm going to go back, and I can do that if I want to. I'm going to have Sanders go to the Jets. I want to see it. I want to see Sanders go into New York. I just want to see it.
You know, I can't just go back. I have to restart this draft.
You do?
It's okay.
Okay, well, we'll edit it later, okay, because there's only one trade. So we'll call it a trade then. Will Johnson's going to the Saints. I'm going to put Will Johnson at the Saints.
Will Johnson to the Saints.
So that's just it. We're just flipping those two.
Okay, 1 second. Hold up.
Okay. And I like Will Johnson. I'm not.
You don't want to say Will Johnson's going to the Panthers.
No, I think Jalen Walker's going to the Panthers.
Okay.
Yeah.
You feel convicted
I
about
feel
that?
that is one that I feel is. I don't want to say it's a lock. It's as close to a lock as possible, and I hope that he falls.
I
Boy,
don't
do I hope he
see I don't
falls.
see any world that he falls, and the reason I say that is just because I think that he is talented enough to go in the top 5 for sure.
He is, but I think Hunter's going, Carter's going before him. I think the Patriots are going to protect the blind side. Mason Graham's going to the Jaguars. Genty's going to the Raiders. 7 is where it would start.
Okay, I got it changed.
Sanders,
Will Johnson.
Jets, yep.
I got it swapped. Will Johnson's going to the
Okay,
Saints.
so
We're at
I
the
have
Bears.
I have Michael Williams, edge, going to the Bears.
Michael Williams.
Yep, they were definitely going to be taking offensive linemen, but they killed it in the free agency, and they filled those needs. Now, if Genty is available, I think the Bears will run and sprint to the line and take Genty.
Mm-hmm.
Will they take Hampton this early? That's a question because that's a little early for
I love
Hampton.
Hampton, but this is too early for
Yeah,
him.
but that's why I have them going somewhere else. And there's some good running backs. So now we come.
We're going McKell.
Mikel
McKeel.
Williams. Yep, edge. Now we come to the 49ers.
Maybe a little early for him. I could see someone
Yes.
taking a flyer on some other players who maybe have a little bit more.
I've manipulated this draft. I'm just going to tell you right now because I got a player that I really wanted with the 49ers.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, now we're talking our teams, and I'm going to say the 49ers, for the 49ers, they do have a bunch of holes right now.
Yeah.
I would want
A lot of
Jalen
holes.
Walker first.
Yeah.
He would be my number one choice.
Okay.
But Armand Membu, that's who the 49ers are going to take.
So that's why the last couple teams that need offensive
Yes.
tackles didn't get offensive
Yes,
tackles.
it was totally manipulation. I want Membu so bad. Now, I would rather have Jalen Walker,
Okay.
but I'll take Membu. And if Membu's not there, I think they're going to go either Kelvin Banks Jr. or Will Johnson if he was available. Okay, but that would be the order that I would do it in. So that's my top 11.
Okay.
The 49ers absolutely have to start looking to the future to protect. They have the worst center in the league, not a good right tackle, and they have a guard problem. So they need offensive line help and defensive line help. Okay, so we're going to go 12. I'm going to let you pick. Who do you have? I have somebody down here in my mock draft. Do you want me to tell
For
you
the
who?
Cowboys?
For the
Who'd you have for
Cowboys.
the Cowboys?
I went cornerback,
Which one?
Jadon Barron. And he could be the best cornerback.
That's a little early for him.
He looks good. He looks really good.
Yeah, no,
I've seen some. Anyway,
I think he's a player for sure.
but I could see them. I could see them going receiver because they like this. They like that type of.
It makes
thing.
no sense for them to do that.
But you could see them doing it.
Maybe because they're idiots.
Yeah, but I could see them do it. Who do you have?
I think they have to take Hampton. If Genty's off the board, I think they have to.
Okay, they need a.
This is the problem. If you're the Cowboys, where are you going to go into next season? Is Miles Sanders your starting running back?
I know they're in trouble.
And if you miss on Hampton,
okay.
which they will if they don't take him here, then you got to wait how long?
Yeah, that's true. It's second round. You're gonna have to.
You're
wait.
not getting him in second round.
No, I mean you're gonna have to take a
Somebody.
second round flyer. Yeah, on somebody.
Yeah.
Hampton's gonna be good too.
Oh,
You're
he's a stud.
better off taking a guy that you think should go 19.
He's a stud.
So you
But-
think Hampton?
I think a real Cowboy pick is Tyler Warren. I could see that.
Okay.
Tight end.
Yeah.
I mean, Dallas has been known to have some tight ends in the day.
He's going to be a stud.
I just don't think Jake Ferguson's the answer.
He is going to be a stud. Tyler
I'm
Warren.
on this one. I'm feeling Tyler Warren. here.
Okay, Tyler Warren.
I like that pick. It fits the spot.
Okay.
I think Hampton's way too early for this spot. Most likely, if Cowboys are in this spot, Genty's gone. I see them trading back
Okay.
because they know that they got to take Hampton.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
We're now
Dolphins.
at the Dolphins. Cameron, would you like to weigh in on the Dolphins? Who you think they would take? I'll tell you who I thought, but
This is
Yeah,
crazy because they
who
got
do you have?
two stud wide receivers here.
I think they need offensive line help.
Yeah, that's
Um,
kind of where I was.
Kelvin
saying,
Banks
too.
Jr.
That's
is who
who I was gonna go to.
I would be totally happy with the 49ers taking him too.
Yeah.
Kelvin Banks is a big boy and he's done very well.
Dolphins let 43 sacks last year.
Yeah,
Oof.
and you look at your quarterback and
You
what
look
he's
at
gone
your-
through.
Yeah.
I mean, that poor
You
guy
look
has
at
gone
your
through.
soft spot quarterback.
Yeah. So okay, so you feel the same thing,
Yeah,
Kelvin Banks?
Yeah, the nice thing about Banks too is worst comes to worst, they could move him to guard.
Yeah.
If Campbell
He's
fell that
not
far, that'd
too
be nice,
tall
but-
where he's not too tall where it's like if he struggles out at tackle, he could definitely slide into guard.
Yeah.
He's not past that point.
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
So-
then at the Colts, I would put Barron in there. Then if you have the Cowboys,
Hold up. I got a bit. Okay, Banks for and then Colts. Yeah, Barron.
Yeah, I'd put him there. I would have had him at the Cowboys, but you picked you made a different selection there.
Yeah,
so
I did.
Hampton, and that was a
I
good pick.
did.
And
I
I think
did
that is a very good idea. I think the Falcons might go McMillan here.
Okay, if you're the Falcons,
Yeah.
they have spent so much money
Yes.
on wide receivers.
Oh, they're just going to take another quarterback here. The Falcons were confusing
okay.
last year.
Hear me out.
Yes.
They need defensive line help.
Yeah. So Kenneth Grant.
And I really think either Mike Green or Shamar Stewart here are great picks.
What do you think of Stewart?
I think he's good.
Okay, so why did he not do anything? He looks like Garrett, and his measurables are like Garrett.
He
And
is
he had
what you would consider an RAS score 10, which is very athletic,
Yes.
but he has
No
produced
production.
absolutely nothing.
So
Because he went to A&M.
But hear me out. You know who also produced little to nothing? Nolan Smith for Georgia.
okay,
Okay, his numbers were terrible.
not
They
not
were
S-
pretty bad.
Not Stewart. Stewart had like 3.5 sacks or something in
Yeah,
three or 4 years.
I think Nolan Smith had like 4.
how it's so weird to think that you're going to dominate in college. Now it has happened,
Oh yeah,
but that you can't succeed in college, but you
I think a lot of times there's the players. They come into their own
It
at a
happens
different
all the
age.
time.
Yeah, I mean
That happened with your quarterback.
that's true.
Yeah, but no. The Brock Purdy produced at Iowa State. Like he's done nothing.
Yeah, but
Like,
no
no
one.
stats.
Yeah, but no one ever said Brock Purdy's the number one.
No, but I'm just saying he had no stats. That's all I'm saying. It's like he didn't have stats. It's just now.
Yeah, but if Brock Purdy would have went to Alabama, he would have had no stats either
Yeah.
because he wouldn't have started.
He probably wouldn't have started at Alabama.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I don't know.
You're talking about an SEC team,
I know, but
and their defensive
to
line. If
take
you
in
notice
the-
something, their defensive line stacked.
but just think if you're the GM and you're picking in the middle of the first round and it doesn't work, everybody's going to be screaming, "Why did you do this?"
Yeah,
So
but
you got to have
Randy,
him succeed.
he tested as the most athletic
I
edge
know.
prospect of all time.
Then I know. So why is he not getting any? He's not hitting anybody.
I think. Listen, there's so many answers you could put to
So
that.
many factors that go into
Oh yeah.
Well,
I mean, just think about it. How many times have you been in a basketball game or a football game where you thought, I could be in a lot better position to succeed?
So you have
How many
no
ti-
problem with getting an edge guy that has had 3.5 sacks in 3 or 4 years.
No, I don't.
You don't have any problem with that.
No, not if I feel like all
That's
the
bananas.
if I feel like all the talent's there.
Now, what I would think,
mentally and physically, if I think all the talent's there, I have no issue.
I think you got to have the right coach to hopefully coach him up. I hope he succeeds. He is the biggest. He is going to Vegas, and you are
All-
gambling as this is all in.
All I'm saying is the Falcons are taking an edge rusher,
Yeah.
and it's either Mike Green, who's also just as much of a question mark because he played in a small school.
Marshall.
Yeah, he played for Marshall. Okay,
Yeah.
so it's either Mike Green or Shamar Stewart. Which one you taking a flyer on?
Yeah,
the
it's
most
hard.
athletic defensive
It's hard.
end of all time,
It's hard,
or the guy that played at Marshall and had like 20-something sacks
man. Well,
in a season.
hopefully against the pros that are much better, he can produce.
Okay, I'm taking Shamar Stewart.
That's okay. That's good.
Falcons, that's who they're taking.
He
Now,
is, he is
Arizona.
Arizona.
Do they correct their mistake?
Hmm.
They messed up and took a wide receiver last year.
Yeah.
Do they go back to the old bin and say, what can we do for you,
Let's go,
Kyler?
McMillan.
This is the issue with McMillan, right? He is a stud.
Yeah,
I really
he
think
is.
he's the best receiver.
Why? What do
I
you
think
is-
that he's an outside receiver that's not as well utilized in today's offense. He's 6'5", a little bit slower.
Yeah.
I think Matthew Golden's going to go before him. Even though I think McMillan's by far the better prospect.
Wow.
I think there's a high chance that Matthew Golden goes before him.
Okay.
And it's only because I think Matthew Golden fits most people's offensive scheme a lot better.
Okay.
Look at like Drake London. He's a very similar player. 6'5", freaky athletic. Okay. And actually, Drake London had way better footwork.
Yeah.
Coming out of USC.
Yeah. And he's
He sucks.
he's
He's getting
he's-
majority.
yeah.
He's getting majority passes in an Atlanta
and
offense.
He had a decent year.
He had
it.
a decent
Yeah.
year.
Yeah.
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 And that's the problem is with Tate, I think that's his ceiling. His floor is obviously very high.
Yeah.
His floor is very high.
Yeah.
But I think his ceiling is very similar to a Drake London.
Yep.
You know?
Yeah.
So it's just difficult.
Okay.
Do I think he's a more well-rounded prospect today than Matthew Golden? Absolutely.
Put him down. Falcons.
Wait, we're putting Matthew Golden?
I'm sorry. We're at the Cardinals, right?
Yeah, we're at the Cardinals.
Okay.
So
they're
take another wide receiver.
no, I don't know. They also need edge help. I could see them going Mike Green here.
I could see Walter Nolan.
They
Kenneth
need a quarterback
Grant.
that isn't legally a little person. He has a handicap sticker in his car.
We did not.
I'm putting Mike Green down.
Okay, you got Mike Green?
Yeah.
Mike Green's your guy?
Okay.
Cardinals. So where are we at?
No, we're Bengals.
Bengals? Okay. What do you think for Bengals? They need a lot of defensive help. I could
Yeah.
see Kenneth Grant, Walter Nolan.
they need a wide receiver.
Derek Harmon. Derek Harmon, I could definitely see happening
Harmon.
here out of Oregon. Malachi Starks isn't crazy. I think actually Nick
Starks
Amenwari
looked really good.
from South Carolina will go first,
Yeah.
and I think he fits here.
Okay.
That's my pick
Who do you have?
for the Bengals. Nick Amenwari.
Oh, okay. Yep.
I think he's actually going to go before Malachi.
Okay. All
People
right.
feel just a little bit stronger
Okay.
about his tape.
All right.
Seattle, easy pick. Cash it in.
Great.
Give him the wide receiver.
No.
No, I'm serious.
You would go receiver?
Yes,
oh,
absolutely.
No, they'll go.
We talked about this a month ago. I
You
said,
hear
what would
me.
be more perfect? You got Cooper Kupp, you got
Yep.
Jackson Smith and Jigba,
Yep.
and now you have the top two wide receivers staring you dead in the eyes at pick 18, and you're not going to take one?
I think they're going to go inside offensive line. They're going to go interior line.
Who you
We'll
thinking?
see.
Tyler
We'll see.
Booker from Alabama?
No.
What?
No.
Tyler Booker's-
Zabel. They're going to go.
Oh,
they're-
Gray Zabel. Gray Zabel.
Zabel, there's who they're going to take. I think that's as close to. I don't want to say a lock, but I think Seahawks
I'm punching
are
it
going
in. Now
Okay.
we're at Tampa. We got to go wide receiver.
Okay.
There's no way we can't go wide receiver.
Yes.
I know that's not their number one pick, but if you
Oh,
have
man.
Tate McMillan staring you down at pick
Yeah.
19, you
I can't
gotta
believe
go.
he's still lasted. Yes, so that'd be good. That's fine.
But they also need a safety, so we can go Malachi Starks here.
Starks looks good, doesn't he?
I'm
What do
going
you-
Malachi. I'm going Malachi.
Have
It
you
makes
seen
too much
Starks?
sense.
Have you seen his
He's
his
a stud.
measurables?
Oh, he's a stud.
That guy is a stud.
Yeah.
That guy's a stud. Good pick.
I
Good pick.
would love his RAS score to actually be a little bit better, but he's
Okay.
a stud.
Broncos are
Okay.
taking Hampton.
No, they're taking a wide receiver.
You don't think they'll take Hampton? Oh, I think they'll take Hampton. If
You
Hampton's
have
here,
you have the pick of the litter for the top two wide receivers, and you're going to take the number 2 running back?
I think they'll take Hampton. I think he wants a running back, but a receiver would be a good pick. Take whoever. You pick who you. I'll let you make the pick.
I'm
here.
taking the receiver.
Okay. He's got to go at some point.
Tate McMillan's off the board.
Okay.
Think him and Cortland Sutton.
McMillan is off the board. I think the Steelers are going Jackson Dart. I think they're getting their receiver.
You think so?
Yeah.
They're going to go quarterback right here.
I think they're going to go quarterback.
Okay. I actually don't feel terrible about that.
Yeah.
I actually kind of like that pick,
Yep.
to be honest with you.
So,
I like Jackson Dart.
yeah.
The old Dart man.
So what do you think
You know,
about
he
the
got
Chargers?
a lot of stuff. He did get caught. He got caught.
He got himself caught.
He got caught cheating on his girlfriend. She made a whole vlog post about it.
Yeah, that's ugly on
Kind
social
of
media.
kind of an ugly little deal. But I will say, I think people actually enjoyed it more than they hated him for it, which is so terrible.
We are a messed up society. I love watching this train wreck. Oh man! Speaking of which, Travis Hunter.
found the chick that he cheated on his girlfriend with, and they're like, we understand. It was just it wasn't a
That's
good,
horrible.
It wasn't a good thing.
That's
It's
horrible.
terrible.
No,
It's
that's
terrible.
not good. Okay, Chargers.
Yeah.
Who do you got here?
Oh,
Could you
man.
see them going running back then with Hampton?
Absolutely.
Okay,
Absolutely.
we'll go with
that
Hampton.
seems like such a John Harbaugh pick.
We'll go with
Or
that.
sorry, Jim. My bad.
Yep.
Old Jimmy boy.
Yep. So now we're at 23 with the Packers.
Ooh, Colston Loveland, I think, is actually a great pick here. You know why? Because their tight end situation's been kind of wishy-washy.
Okay,
They have
okay.
2 tight ends on their team.
Okay, that's
that
fair.
are half decent,
Let's do it.
but
I
they're
like
not
that.
great. They're
Yeah.
like, they have 2 tight ends where it's like, they're all right.
Yeah,
They could bring this tight end in and have 1 stud.
Give Love an extra little.
I could see them going Matthew Golden or going with like an edge defender or something like that, maybe an offensive lineman. But I feel like the tight ends position just screaming out to me. I think that's a good one for them.
Okay.
And I like Colston Loveland. He's a great player.
I
and
like
he
it.
blocks like
I
no
like
other.
it.
And when you got Josh Jacobs having a tight end that can block,
Yeah.
it's a great pick.
What do you think the Vikings are going to do? I'm curious what your thoughts are there. 'Cause
Pick up Aaron Rodgers.
I had them down in my initial thoughts of Starks here. I thought that would be a good pick for them. But,
Malachi
but
Starks.
he's gone.
Hmm.
So who do you?
Yeah, because they need a safety.
But
Ooh, you know actually who'd be a good pick? What's that cornerback out of Kentucky? What's his name?
Maxwell Hairston.
Yes. Where do they have him listed? Oh, they have him listed way
27?
further back.
yeah, but you're in the 20s at this point. You're in the range.
Let me think about that.
You're in the range. There's
They need a safety, cornerback. Well, actually, Tyler Booker's sitting right here. They do need a guard. They do need a guard. So if you can get Alabama's
Okay.
Tyler Booker here, I think
I
it's a
have
good
seen Tyler Booker mocked multiple times in the second round.
pick. Really?
And that's bananas because that guy is a beast.
I know.
If somebody picks him up and whoever gets him, he's nasty and really good. He's
Yep.
going to be a great guard. He is so that'd be a great pick.
Okay, and this is an easy pick. I'm going to walk this one right to the booth. The Texans need a tackle. Josh Simmons is sitting right here from Ohio State.
I love Josh Simmons.
I think this is a super easy pick for them.
Josh Simmons, I think, could be. I mean, he could possibly be. I had him at one point going to the Chiefs because of injuries problems. But I think he could be the best offensive lineman in the draft.
Yeah.
Josh
I can see
Simmons
that.
is really good. Okay,
This one makes me mad.
okay.
Jahad Campbell out of Alabama. The Rams need that stud in the middle,
Yeah.
and he is a stud.
and he's gonna.
If you want another player who's very similar to
I
that
do not
Jalen
want the
Walker,
Rams to get him.
he's very similar to Jalen Walker,
Yes.
where they lined
Yep.
Jahad Campbell all over the field.
Yep.
He had like 4 or 5 sacks this
Yep.
year. He led the team in tackles.
I love it. I
He's a
love that
stud
pick.
player. This is a perfect fit for Rams.
He's good, and I could see him going earlier. So they're getting a steal.
And let me say, the Ravens don't need a linebacker, but I know the Ravens, and if you see a stud linebacker available when they come up to pick, they're
They always
taking
take
them.
one.
They
Yeah.
always take one.
I had the Ravens taking Tyler Booker coming up a little bit later, but
Oh,
obviously
gotcha.
he's off the board now.
Yeah,
So-
we're at cornerback. They need a guard, cornerback, edge. It wouldn't be crazy to say they go wide receiver here, right? I mean, what's their
No.
what's their wide receiver? I mean, you got
No,
Matthew Golden, who is
They could also take that Izerico or whatever, the edge, Donovan.
yeah, Ezraku.
Is Ezraku.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah, I'm just gonna say Matthew Golden here. I don't know
Okay.
that wide receiver is really a need for them, but it's definitely not a bad thing for them. They don't have any studs on that team.
No, they've not had good, excellent receivers.
They got Rashard Bateman still, and
Yeah.
what's the other kid's name? He's good. He was out of oh gosh,
Can you imagine though if they'd have got Tyler Booker?
what was his name? Wide
trying to remember.
receivers, Ravens.
So man,
Zay Flowers. Yeah.
Zay Flowers. Yeah,
Oh, and DeAndre Hopkins signed there. I forgot about that.
He'll
None of those guys are screaming off the plate to you. Rashard Bateman, DeAndre Hopkins, Zay Flowers.
Yeah.
None of those guys. I think
Okay.
there's a possibility they take a flyer on Matthew here just because he's ranked so high.
So do we still have Mike Green on the board?
Nope, he's gone.
He's gone.
No,
Okay.
Mike Green went to, let's see here. We had him going to Cardinals.
Cardinals.
Yep.
Okay.
We didn't
Okay.
have them making 2 wide receiver mistakes.
Okay,
in a
so
row.
who do you have the Lions taking?
Oh, this is a great question. They need to go. Oh, Nick Scorton from Texas A&M. I
Okay.
like him.
You want him?
Oh,
okay.
he's a dude.
Yeah.
I just saw a picture of him standing next to Brandon Graham the other day. he is a dude. He's not
He's a
like
man.
necessarily like tall.
Yeah.
But you just see like his build, and you're like, yeah.
He's got the NFL body.
Yeah, he's a guy.
So okay, so we got the Lions.
And they need an edge rusher to go with
Yeah.
Aiden Hutchinson. I think this is a walk this
If
one
they
right
get-
to the ballot.
Boy, I hope he doesn't fall that far.
Nick Scorton?
Yeah.
Oh, gotcha.
I don't need the Lions to have anybody else. They're
Fair
a pretty
enough.
solid team. Commanders up next.
Man, I hate this. I hate this because their top need is an edge rusher. So they're either
James Pierce?
they're gonna take James Pierce.
James Pierce.
And I like James Pierce a lot. Oh,
You got more
Go Bulls.
people running at the
go Bulls.
Hurts.
Go Bulls.
Go Bulls.
You got more edge rushers coming after your quarterback.
Listen, this is the problem is James Pierce is a stud.
Yeah.
He's gonna do it.
Yeah.
You know, he's got a little bit of character questions. I could see him falling only because of that.
Yeah.
But I mean, who doesn't in the
Yeah.
NFL draft these days have some
Yeah.
sort of character questions? Sadly, but man, that sucks.
Okay.
I'm taking James Pierce because that is their number one need.
So we've got the Bills, and then next up will be the Chiefs. And I want to hear
They
what,
need a
what
cornerback in the
Cameron has
worst
to
way.
say about that. So
Yeah.
who do you have? I had the Bills taken. I don't know how to pronounce his name. Nick Emenwari or something like that.
Oh,
He's
from
a
South
safety.
Carolina.
He's a safety.
Oh, gotcha. But we had him going early.
Yeah, I think
Which
that's
I
who I
think he
originally
will.
had. But
They do need a defensive tackle, and Derek Harmon's still there. I'll just have him slide in there.
okay, you had who?
Derek Harmon.
Oh,
Out of Oregon.
I'm so sorry for you. I had him go to the Eagles.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Okay, that sounds good. Okay, that's okay. So now we'll go
Chiefs.
with our Chiefs fan, Cameron. It's time. It's hard. Now when you do this, who are maybe some people that you would like if you're hoping are available? That you would like?
I mean, there's plenty of people that I'm hoping are available, but none of them are realistic.
But like Josh Simmons,
It's
Josh
not
Simmons,
crazy to say that the Chiefs could move up in the draft.
Yeah.
Or they move back.
I don't know why we would though.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know if there's anything of value. I don't know. This draft class to me seems weak.
Yeah,
overall.
I really like the players in the second round. I think you can get some decent value from a couple players in the second round.
This seems like a Phil Holes year.
Oh, yeah.
not superstar year.
There's not a lot of stars, I don't think.
I don't think you're gonna get a lot of just like a lot of bang for your buck necessarily.
Yeah.
These kids are gonna want to get paid quite a bit, and they're just not worth the money.
Yeah.
NIL, baby.
Yeah. So I think we need some O-line help because we did lose Creed Humphrey.
Yeah.
It sucks a lot.
Donovan Jackson out of Ohio State still available in this mock draft right now. Walter Nolan, you guys could use another defensive lineman. He's still available.
I like Nolan.
Oh, I love
Walter
Nolan.
Nolan would be a great pick.
If Nolan falls, the Eagles were taking.
Yeah.
I'm
Yes.
gonna be honest, I care more about my quarterback than I do about losing points.
It's fair.
So
If I had Patrick Mahomes, my quarterback, I'd probably say the same thing.
I care
Protect
more
him.
about my quarterback being safe.
Yeah.
That's a very reasonable comment.
Did you see Skip Bayless going at it with the fans about Patrick Mahomes he's overrated, and the guy's like, what do you mean by overrated? Because right now there's only like maybe 2 or 3 quarterbacks of all time better than him, and you're saying he's overrated, but in what way? Because he should be highly rated. He's like he's still playing.
He's good.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know that I can always endorse very much of what Skip Bayless says. Yeah.
Well, Skip Bayless is the one saying he's overrated.
Yeah, I know. I'm not sure that I endorse what he's necessarily saying.
I don't think Patrick's overrated.
I think he has been overrated
At times, maybe.
recently, but not overall. His career has been insane.
Yeah.
Anyway, so Cameron, who do you have?
Just looking at tackle or just linemen in general here. Jared Wilson looks good. He's out of Georgia.
Georgia.
He's a little small. That
Okay.
would be the only thing. I could see us taking a guard and putting them at center because I think
A lot of guards are cross-trained.
Yeah. Yeah, but I think I'm gonna go with Jared Wilson
Okay.
out of Georgia.
All right. Fair enough.
He said he's a tackle.
No, he's a center.
Oh, sorry.
Center. Okay. All right, so we are at the last pick in the draft, the Super Bowl champions
This is
who
my favorite
dominated the draft last year.
I must say,
They did pretty good.
Gonna love this pick.
Who do you have going in the last
Listen.
pick?
The likelihood that the Eagles don't move up or move out of this pick,
Yes.
little to none.
Yeah, they're not picking in this spot. That's the only thing you know.
I don't think we've actually stayed at our pick in the first round since Howie Roseman's been
Yeah.
the draft.
Well, that's fun.
But anyways, that being said, if Walter Nolan's here,
Walter Nolan would be a great pick.
I'll run this one in for them.
Yes.
You know, I'll take it to the board for him.
Yes.
I like Walter Nolan. He reminds me
Okay.
exactly of Milton Williams. Exactly of Milton Williams. He's the same body type, plays the 5 technique like an absolute animal.
Yeah.
And I just think this is a no-brainer if he's sitting there.
Okay.
Yeah.
But we don't have him there in our mock draft.
Yeah, we do.
Oh, he's still available?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, that's robbery.
That's robbery.
That is not fair.
Listen, I'm telling you, there'll be at least
I know.
there's at least 3 or 4 players that I really like.
And you get him for a 5th year.
I know. There's 3 or 4 players that I really like that I think there's no way one of them doesn't fall to us. And that's what's kind of crazy about the situation, because I think the heart of this draft will be in the second round.
Yeah.
And at 32, you basically get 2 second-round picks,
Wow.
if you think about it.
All right. So who do you have as a sleeper pick that could fall in the draft and somebody's maybe possibly going to get
This
a
is so
steal?
random.
Yes.
So random.
I like to hear it.
because we're not going to take them.
You're not going to take him. You mean your Eagles?
The Eagles are not going to take him.
Okay.
Because he's the least of our needs. He's a wide receiver.
Yeah.
I have fallen in love with
Oh.
Trey Harris out of Ole Miss.
And why is that?
I
what do you
don't
like
know.
about him?
He just reminds me so much of A.J. Brown, but not the body style, just the way that he plays basketball with his body just reminds me of A.J. Brown a lot. He seems to always be open, even though he's not the fastest guy.
Okay.
He's 6'3". He's got a big, lanky frame on him.
Where do you think he'll go? What round?
3rd, 4th round.
3rd or 4th round.
Yeah, and whatever team gets him, he's gonna put in minutes.
Yeah.
This is the only thing. The only downside for him is he's a 5th year,
Yeah.
but he's got the track history to prove it. I mean, he's got 3 years of 1,000 yards. I just think that, the way he plays basketball as a wide receiver, I just think there's no way.
What are the Eagles' needs right now? What would you say their biggest needs are?
Our biggest need, we need to replenish on the defensive line a little bit. We got a little hurt there. Other than that, maybe a cornerback if we want to.
So who's your third?
a
Who's
safety.
your third receiver?
Our 3rd receiver.
See, I think in the NFL right now, if you like this player, why not take him?
Well, because the Eagles aren't going to fill their draft room with receivers they don't need. But I'm not saying we won't take a receiver. I just don't think they're going to like him as much as I do.
Oh, okay. All right. This is a trend.
Our 3rd receiver, though, is Jahan Dotson.
Yeah. That's right. You got him from the Commanders.
Yeah, he's very capable. I like Jahan.
Yep.
He actually had a big catch in the Super Bowl.
did?
Remember that?
Oh, yeah.
They thought it was a touchdown. It was like the first big play. They thought it was a touchdown. He was down on the 1-yard line.
It's nice to have. Right now, they spread the field so much, so you use 3 receivers often.
Yeah.
So that's possible.
Yeah, but we got Johnny Wilson. I like him. He's the 6'7" guy.
Yeah.
Big, tall
6'7"
guy.
on the goal line. You just throw it up to him against one of those 5'9".
He had a goal line
corners.
touchdown this year.
Yeah. That's a.
And then we have a nice Smith who didn't really get any playing time. This name will actually ring a bell for you. You know who we picked up in the offseason?
Who?
Terrence Marshall Jr.
Terrence Marshall Jr.
Do you know him?
No.
I think he was on the 49ers for a short period of time.
Marshall Jr.?
Yeah, I think so.
I don't remember that.
Let me double check.
I don't remember that at all.
He was a second-round
could
pick.
be.
He was second-round pick for the Carolina Panthers.
Oh, I was going to say the 49ers didn't take him in the second round.
Yeah.
I know our second-round picks. We got Banks a couple of years ago.
I
He's
know
gone.
our second-round picks. Let me tell you.
We take edge rushers that can't play. Jackson.
That's funny.
Okay, so let's move on right now.
Okay.
We're going to talk. We had the Masters.
Masters.
I wanted to hear what your thoughts of what went down here. Rory McIlroy. We'll start with you, Cameron. What were your thoughts?
He's so excited. I love this.
Yeah. So Cameron, you're into this golf thing, and so what do you think about him?
The Masters. The Masters is the greatest sporting event to ever exist on this entire planet. It is so amazing. The Masters was great. People really thought DeChambeau was going to take it away this year, and day 3 he just fell apart. He fell apart hard, which is crazy because Rory started out day 3 with a double bogey, hole 1. Hole 1 double bogey.
Hard to come back from that.
Man, can you imagine?
That puts them even.
Yeah.
At the start of the day 3 because Rory was up 2 shots day 3. Double bogey's the first hole. Now it's even playing field. Now they're fighting the whole way down.
Yeah.
And then DeChambeau falls apart. Justin Rose comes up from like 12th to catch up to Rory. And then on the last hole, Rory, it's on 18. He's got about 7-8 foot putt, right? If he sinks his putt, he wins. If he misses, he has to go to a playoff. A lot of tension, sitting there. And it's a golf tournament, so it's silent.
Yeah.
You're just sitting there and you're just like,
does that help? Silence, does it help?
Well, as a watcher, you're just sitting there like, oh.
Yeah.
And you know how much like on my, like when I'm playing golf and I'm just sitting there trying to sink a 3-foot putt, I'm shaking, I'm like, ooh. And I can't imagine what he's feeling. But he hits the ball just to the left.
Yeah.
Just to the left.
Can you imagine having to recover from that?
Listen, I will say there's no better feeling than sinking a putt, man.
No.
Oh, it feels so good.
Especially like from a ways out or like a tough putt. Yeah. But he misses the putt, so he 2 putts. And so they have to go to a playoff, which hasn't happened in like 60 years or something. In the Masters, they have to go to a playoff. They go to a playoff. They're playing the 18th hole, which they just played, so they know the hole. They tee off, pretty much identical spots down the fairway. Chip up on the green. Justin Rose chips up. He's about 5 feet out. Rory chips up 2.5.
Yeah.
Like, just pristine chip. And everyone knows, like, okay, this is it. Like, if Justin Rose makes his putt, they go again, but he's got a tougher putt.
Yeah.
Justin Rose lines up, misses.
Yep.
Just to the left. Like, same spot that Rory just missed.
Oh, my
God. And
gosh.
it was just like, oh. And then Rory sinks the putt, and it's just like, he has this thing where when he makes big shots or, like, big plays, he'll throw his club.
Yep.
And there's this great picture taken by Ken Griffey, who was a photographer at the Masters this year.
Yep.
Taken by Ken Griffey of him, like, throwing the club, like, right after it's
magical.
Cool moment. I love golf. And it was just, he completed the Grand Slam, which only 6 other players have done, including Tiger Woods and Jack Nicholson. Jack Nicklaus, sorry. Nicholson? Nicholas? I can't remember.
It's Nicholson.
Nicholson, sorry.
Good.
And yeah, it was just amazing. I love the Masters. I love golf.
Yeah.
It's great.
I love watching Bryson DeChambeau. Scotty Scheffler, still love watching him play. And you got some of your outlaws out there, you got your outlaw golfers that are a lot of fun to watch.
Did you hear about that kid from ASU?
Yes. So funny. Listen, I just want to say this. As someone...
He peed in the creek at the Masters. He peed in the creek.
You're not allowed to have your phone there either.
Yeah, there's no
take
phones
your phone.
allowed. This is like, the Masters is one of the most esteemed, like, sporting events ever. They have specific rules about everything.
They actually can make way more money from sponsorships, but they actually turn it down just to keep it like
clean
about golf.
Yeah.
Do you know you can't buy tickets?
Yeah.
Do you know that the only way to get a ticket to the Masters is in a lottery?
Yep. Other than that, you can scalp them, but the scalp tickets are like thousands upon thousands.
They legally chase down scalpers.
Oh, do they?
They will take them to jail. They have done it in the past.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it is the most esteemed. I love golf.
Yeah,
I love golf.
I must say this. First of all,
he's
you hit a game-winning putt. You just can't help but just shake it. You're just like,
I used to love watching Tiger's reactions.
Oh yeah,
and because
you didn't even watch that much Tiger Woods, but instantly you're like,
being out on the course. Right? And Cameron, you were talking about it. When you have a putt that's 7, there's a certain range outside of 3 feet.
Yeah.
Where you're like, crap. There's the gimmies, and then there's the times when you're on the golf course and you say, "Is that a gimme?" And you're hoping your friends will say, "Yeah," but you're like a little further away than what really a gimme is. And I can't imagine you have the Masters on the line, and you have a putt, and you're just outside that gimme.
Yeah.
And when you're thinking McIlroy, and he's been there 17 times, never won here, and you're trying to go for a Grand Slam. You got all this stuff, and you're like, I can't think about it. Everybody's staring at you. It's awkward quiet, and you're like, and then the next round, like you say, you have the same type of thing the opposite way. I have been on a golf course, and I remember being ahead the whole 18 yards against the guy I was playing with. Now, we're not excellent golfers. Okay.
I was going to say, what year was this? 82?
This was
83?
Yeah, this was definitely
1883.
This is definitely 20th century. So I'm sitting there, and I'm like, if I make this, I win. They finally caught up to me, but if I make this, I win.
And you didn't.
Oh, my gosh. I choked so bad. So bad to where it was like, this should 50-50 go in, to where now I'm like, crap, I got to make this one to tie now. It was such a choke job. Yeah. And it's like, when you have a downhill putt and you don't know, do I hit it this hard and I only went this far? Or did it just keep going? And it's like hard to know what to do.
Golf is a very unforgiving sport.
Oh,
it's also the only sport where like you can wake up one day and be like, and just have such a great day on the course. Yeah. And then the next day you go out and you just can't even hit a thing.
No.
There was one time we did a scramble. In fact, it was actually the last time I took Grace to go hit target practice. And we went on the scramble, and I couldn't drive worth of nothing. I couldn't drive. I couldn't play down the fairway. I couldn't do anything, right?
Yeah.
I get to the actual course and that next day, and my team were perfectly driving. They were perfectly hitting down the fairway. And I get almost all the way down to the end, and I was putting like a madman. I didn't miss a putt the whole entire time. It was like, it didn't matter. We were 10, 12 feet. Could be up a hill, down a hill, to the left, to the right. I didn't miss a putt the whole entire day. And my team's like,
so weird.
My team's sitting there going, oh, this guy's good, man. Oh, this guy's good.
Who do we get paired up with, man?
I know.
Are you an amateur?
They're like, this guy's crazy good. I couldn't hit anything else. I'm joking with these guys. By the time we get to hole 9, I'm straight up just like, listen, what do you guys think about me just like hitting my hybrid off the tee? These guys are like, well, I'm like, listen, I can't hit anything right now. I'm trying everything. I'm pulling the sand wedge out of the bag. I'm pulling the sand wedge out of the bag. I can't hit anything. But as soon as that ball touches the putting field, I'm like, oh, it's game over. I don't know what happened. But listen, that's what I love about it. There's no feeling like that. And it's the one sport we talked about this, Cameron. It's the one sport you can start in your diapers and end in your diapers.
And you're still playing.
Yeah. And still play.
Oh, my goodness. So I don't know if you guys have any golf stories that are fun. I'm going to share 2 quick ones.
Oh,
okay,
gosh.
so if you have a quick, fun story.
I think I know one of them.
Okay. So one of them was I was in a golf tournament, and we came up to the green, and I think we ended on like the 14th hole because you all started at different holes.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
And so each hole, a lot of the holes had different competitions. Longest drive, you win this. And so it was the last hole. We were not going to win the tournament. And it was the longest putt. And you saw, and they kind of put the flag, like a little flag out that says, this is the longest putt. And so we chipped on a little closer than that. But somebody had chipped a little further away than that, so we took that ball because it was playing best ball. So instead of going closer, we went further away. And I hadn't made a putt the whole stinking thing, and it was a long putt. And it went, whoop, boom. I won the putter. Still have the putter. Don't use the putter. I've got one good club, and it's the putter. And my other story, before, if you guys have one, I was golfing. I won't mention his name. We're friends with him. I won't mention his name, but this was so awesome. We're golfing, and we are up on the green, and the people behind us kept hitting up to us. And one of my friends good buddy of mine, in his wedding, loved it. He was tired of it. And I don't know if you've ever been there where people are hitting too close to you, not yelling for, not waiting and stuff like that. And so he hits right up, we're on the green, the ball goes right up to the green. And my buddy took the ball, started letting him have it, and chucked the ball into the woods while they're looking at him. And my buddy's, he's a strong man, and he just chucked it as far as he could in the woods. And I just thought that was the greatest thing
I've
ever.
narrowed this down to who it is.
Yes. We're very good friends. Very good friends. My daughter, your wife's best friend's father.
Yeah. No, I already was there. I actually was there when you first said had a little bit of a moment.
So do you guys have any stories that you wanted to share?
Not ones I could probably tell at this point.
Yeah.
Honestly, legally speaking, they could still probably come after me.
Okay.
Listen, I worked at the golf course for like 5-6 years.
Oh, which golf course?
Lewis River.
You did?
Oh yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Even when I was in college, if I came home.
Worked at
that's true.
Golf course.
If I came home from college, I would go work there if I could.
Yes.
I would call them up and be like, hey, I'm home for a week. They're like, we can fill your schedule for 3-4 days, right?
Oh, my goodness.
But we had the craziest stories there. Oh, my gosh.
I have an off-the-air story.
Oh, actually, it's owned by different people now. I'm totally in the clear. Never mind. So listen, I have this one story, right? What we used to do is we used to do banquets, okay? Banquets. And the banquets would get over like 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock. We'd be done cleaning the facility at 1 a.m. in the morning, 2 a.m. in the morning, right? Mm-hmm. We would then go get the golf carts out of the garage.
Oh, nice.
And we'd take flashlights and whatever we'd have 2 people for each golf cart. There was usually 4 of us left. Whatever person or crew, one person would have the flashlight, one would drive. Okay. And it's a flashlight on your phone, not like a nice light, okay? You can maybe see 5 feet in front of you. And the point was you had to race from one end of where the golf carts were placed at to the other end.
No.
And let me tell you, there's a lot of lakes at the Lewis River Golf Course. There's a lot of water, okay, and a lot of sand pits. And anyways, so the goal was you had to get from one end to the X. And there was a little spot down on hole, I think it'd be 8, okay, where there was a little bit of a sign, right?
Okay.
And you had to go around the sign, you had to come back. Whoever crew made it back first got to leave, and the other crew had to finish cleaning. Okay.
Okay.
Ready?
I'm ready.
We used to do this all the time. All the time. Okay. There was at one point, I had Adam. His name was Adam. Great guy. He's never going to listen to this podcast.
Oh, boy.
He's never going to listen to the podcast. He's holding the flashlight.
Okay.
I'm driving.
Yeah.
Okay. We're going full speed. The other cart's on our left. We're competitive, He's catching up, right? And Adam all of a sudden goes, sand hole. And I
Oh no.
And the back back end of the golf cart drops into the sand hole, and I'm not kidding you. It's like, like you ever seen like something hanging off a cliff?
Yeah.
Oh, it's straight up. The golf cart's hanging off the cliff into the biggest sand trap on the course. And there's no way we're going to get it out. There was no way we're going to get it out. So everyone had to go over and we pushed it out. It wasn't that big of a deal. It's a miracle we never ran into the water. We used to also do a lot of fun things at the golf course. We used to go bullfrog catching.
Oh.
You go out in the ponds at late at night with headlamps on and stuff like that. You can go catch bullfrogs.
Yeah.
We would dive in there during the middle of the night, get golf balls out of the ponds.
Yeah.
We weren't supposed to do that, but anyways.
Well, we got more stories afterwards. You have to subscribe big time to us. Get us 10 subscribers.
Subscribe to our Patreon.
We'll talk to you after hours. We'll give you more stories.
After hours? Yeah.
Good sports after hours.
So
we don't have the lawyers for that.
The only other thing that I would say is we had the #1 pick, Paige, in the WNBA draft. Cameron, do you have any comments on that? What are your thoughts? Congratulations to her.
All I'll say is she deserved that for sure.
Yeah, she's definitely the best player in that draft.
She's awesome.
Everyone knew she was going to go first, and Dallas needed the help. So
yeah. Congratulations to her and everybody. And we have the NFL draft, and like I said, I'm stoked for this.
Okay, I have a question. I didn't see Van Lith
Yeah, she was like 8th or 9th.
Did she get drafted?
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah.
I didn't obviously I didn't look into it off that well, but okay. I know Haley, she's just a big topic right now.
Yeah. Okay. Well, That's it. We'll come back next week. We're looking forward to the draft coming up, see if there's any trades that happen, see if people move up in the draft, and maybe Dart will go sooner, or will Shadur Sanders fall even further. We'll see.
Yeah.
I hope he doesn't get drafted.
I think he'll get drafted.
Sadly, I think that's not going to happen.
Yeah.
Shoot.
All right. Well, thanks for joining us again. If you like what you see, if you agree, if you disagree, if you think somebody else should be in those picks, please make comments, and we appreciate all the support. Hit that subscribe button real quick. Boom. We'd appreciate it, and we will see you next time.